What's up, YouTube? My name is Amos. This is episode 2 of the Mnet Countdown Weekly Recap. And oh howdy, was this week a bit of a shocker. Let's get right into it, shall we? So, we're going to not really go over everything like we did kind of last week because, well, a little too long. But we will start with this, that there was a song that was on here. It was a very interesting one. Had a very interesting opening because it sounded like something that you hear at a swing club. And the song was called Sway from the artist Jung Min. And I literally have on here, you ever hear one of those songs that has an open that reminds you of going to like a really old school party? Where they play like saxophones or some kind of, or something? Well, that's what we had here. And it's true. This was one of those songs where the song title and the tempo of the song fits it perfectly. It was actually shockingly good. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you, but I heard like the first little bit and I'm thinking, alright. And then it kept going and I was like, you know what? I can see this going up and up and up on the charts as the weeks go by. So let's hope it does, because hey, I'm all for really interesting beats and interesting melodies, and this definitely had one. Choreography was a bit interesting too, because it looked like something you would see at like a 1960s club, at least here anyway. But yeah. Now, I have to talk about this one. So, Minx was on the show this week, and they had Love Shake again. I almost called it Love Shack, but it wasn't in the countdown. I'm like, do you know that that's seriously? And I'm pretty sure I made this clear last week. That was one of my favorite songs last week. And my God, it didn't make the countdown. I was a little bummed. But that goes to show just how competitive the K-pop scene is. And by the way, I don't think I mentioned this, but the Mnet K-pop chart is the chart that is used on J-pop Asia if you go look up the charts. There's the Oricon chart for Japan. There's the Mnet chart for K-pop, and there's one called the KK box. That's what it's called for C-pop. So, in case anybody's wondering what the three big charts are in Asia, there you go. But yeah. Now, we had Sung Gwen with Please, and it was up 7 spots from last week, and it deserves to be a top 15 or top 10, and that's why I have it wrote down here. Really, really interesting and really good song. And there's some artists on here that should potentially be a top 10 or top 5 artist. Sung Gwen is one of them, without question. Let's see, we will skip up to, and you'll excuse me for a second, we'll pretend that didn't happen. Here was a group called Helena Venus, and they had a song called I'm Ill. Well, I have it wrote down here. If you're going to come back with a song called I'm Ill, I'd rather be one of those hip-hop artists for some reason. And this was one of the few songs on the countdown for the week that I can safely say was kind of a bust for me. I couldn't mess with it. Something about it I really, really, really just couldn't jive with, if you know what I mean. Like, you ever hear one of those songs that you're sitting there, you listen to like the first 15 seconds, and you're just like, no. Yeah, that's what happened here, sadly. Now, maybe if it gets on the countdown a couple times and it improves its position every week, it can prove me wrong. But for now, I'm kind of alright. Let's see what we got here. Move on up. Now, here's an interesting name for a group. It's Mama Moo, I believe. And they were at number 6 with a song called Yeah. And if we could drop 2 spots, it was number 8. When you first hear the song, it doesn't sound that appealing, at least not to me. As the song went on, though, as I was blogging it, I sat there and I went, you know what? It's not that bad. I've heard better than I've heard worse. This one wasn't really that bad, but yeah. Like, do I see it as a top 3? Nah, I think it's fine as a top 10, but I don't see it in the top 3 anytime soon. That's just me, though. Not bad, though. But it was one of those, yeah, I don't know how to explain it to you. Anywho, like I said, XCO did make the top 10 with Devil, but we didn't get to hear that. Instead, we did get to hear Choco Chip Cookies by Kuhara. And not a bad song at all. It played during the comeback last week, and it was a song that the people really dug this week, and it was number 10. So, I have no issue with that. Number 11, right after that, was Hurt Locker by Nine Muses. And, not gonna lie, I've heard the song now at least 3 times. Twice during Mnet, once during Music Bank. And I loved it every single time. I seriously need to get the single just because it's that good. And you need to really, really check it out if you haven't. Because we need to get this song up closer to the coveted top 2. Where the votes count and see who battles it out every week. And we're going to be talking about that in a second. Because we're going to go straight right to it. And, alright, let's talk about it because, yeah. Okay, so last week, we had the girls from Girls' Generation win the number 1 spot. Remember that? Well, this week they were going up against the boys from Infinite with the song Bad. And this was one I thought for a second that the girls were going to win. I thought it was a lock. But something about the public, global and where, really pushed Infinite past Girls' Generation, which shocked me. It's not that they were bad, pardon the pun, but something about the fact that they toppled Girls' Generation was like, whoa, really? You toppled the Juggernaut? And keep in mind that, like, the song Party, if you'll forgive me, is one of my favorites, is, in the very brief time I've heard the song, was literally one of my favorite summer party songs right now. That and Her Lock are like my 2 favorites. Alright, and Love Me Right, but we're you know. Anyway, point is, it was such a surprise when I saw the number one revealed and it turned out to be Infinite. Because like I said, it's not like the song is bad. But for some reason, I felt that Party was just that much stronger of a song. Hey, I'm known to be wrong every once in a while. I don't claim to be right all the time, but I'll tell you this. Now they've got the target on their back. Let's see if they can keep that spot come next week. The boys from Infinite with Bad. Because I want to see who guns for them. Will it be Girls' Generation again? Or will it be another group that we don't know about? Could it be EXIO? You know, they made, I believe, number 7 this week. And I wouldn't mind seeing EXIO win the number 1 spot with Devil. I think they deserve it. But anyway, all in all, a very good episode. Well, there was a couple clunkers. They did have a lot of comebacks. We didn't go over all of them. But yeah, a very, very good episode, and you need to go check it out. It is on M-Wave. Right now, it is episode 434, I believe. So do yourself a favor, do go check that out, and I will see you with the recap next Friday. And tomorrow, we go to the bank, the music bank. Take care.